Colorado High School Activities Association basketball is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network tonight from Mountain View High School in Loveland. It's another league doubleheader as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Mountain View Mountain Lions. And a pleasant good evening, John Beltran, as the Mustangs are taking on a Mountain View team that has struggled themselves, but they do have wins under their belt as the starting lineups are being introduced for both teams. The key player to watch for Mountain View is junior Addison Branscombe, averaging 17 points a game. The Mustangs last night sustained a loss to the Roosevelt Rough Riders, 93-14. Mustangs are 0-9 going into this game, 0-5 in the Longs Peak. And Mountain View is 2-3 in league play, 3-6 overall. Mustang starting lineup brought to you by B&B Appliance. From refrigerators to vacuums and everything in between, they have exactly what you need in service at 2 B&B Appliance. With Marely Del Campo, who's a senior, along with Ivana Ordaz, Yadira Longoria Vegas, Shea Ramirez Osborne, and let's see who's out there for Fort Morgan as well. Bella Phillips, jumping center. Bree Matchett, Alex Ellis, Addison Branscombe, Megan Kyle, and Madison Kyle for Mountain View. And the tip is controlled by Mountain View in their home whites. Here's Alex Ellis at the top. Swings it left side to Matchett behind the three-point line. Second leading scorer on the team. Now at the top here is Megan Kyle. Now the three is up by Ellis, and that's no good. And Bella Phillips grabs the rebound for Fort Morgan. On the outlet to Ramirez Osborne. Let's see the Mustangs can play a good first quarter here. 3 of the last 4 games, they've trailed 30-0. That won't happen in this game. Here's the bounce pass to Bella Phillips, and she traveled. Yeah, passing, not dribbling, is going to be the key for Fort Morgan. Passing. We've seen way too much dribbling, and that gets them in trouble. Here we go the other way, and the point guard will be Addison Branscombe. Branscombe at the top, swings it right side to Ellis. Ellis now to Kyle. Here's the other Kyle, Megan, at the free throw line, looking. Now to Madison, swings it cross court, and the three is up, and that's no good, and that's ball is loose, and it's rebounded by Ramirez Osborne. It was missed by Bree Matchett. Ramirez Osborne with the basketball, dribbling on the high right against Matchett. Cross court pass to Del Campo, left to the lane. Del Campo bounce pass in the corner by Longoria Vegas. Now Longoria Vegas all the way. She's double teamed. She's trapped over there, and then she stepped on the end line. Again, enough of the dribbling, and I'm just going to say it right now, not that I'm a coach, but Brett Anderson is calling for rotation as well. The only reason to dribble, besides getting up the court, is to drive to the basket. On the high left is Megan Kyle. Megan dribbling to her right at the free throw line. Then had the ball stripped away, and it's taken away by Longoria Vegas. Nice defense by the Mustangs. Neither team has scored in the first 90 seconds. Ramirez Osborne near the top with the basketball, dribbling against Matchett. Picks up the dribble. Bounce pass to the top for Longoria Vegas. See way too much dribbling here. And there's a foul as Megan Kyle had her right hand on the hip of Longoria Vegas. But Mustang passing has got to improve. Ramirez Osborne to throw it in. Bounce pass in the corner to Ivana Ordaz. She drives, then she's trapped, then she lost the basketball. Swings it back out. The ball is headed towards the backcourt, and it's picked up instead by Addison Branscombe. Down low for Ellis. Lays it up, and too strong. And then the rebound's taken by Mountain View. Now the three is up, and that's missed by Kyle. And it will be Mustang basketball. Tell you what, the Mustangs holding their own, except with the turnover so far. And that bounce pass is intercepted in the backcourt by Branscombe. Lays it up and in, and a foul. Mustangs with 4 turnovers already. And the foul was committed by Ivana Ordaz. I mean, I have to imagine that Coach Anderson is working on passing, and more passing every practice. Free throw by Branscombe is in the air. That's perfect. Light backcourt pressure being applied. Ramirez Osborne to Ordaz. Back to Ramirez Osborne. Bounce pass to Longoria Vegas. She will dribble it into the front court, looking for a teammate, but she throws it away right into the hands of Ellis. Here's Branscombe all the way, lays it up in a foul as she misses. Ramirez Osborne got her with a body. So Ordaz with a foul, and that was by Ramirez Osborne. And back to the line is Branscombe. Free throw is up and perfect. 4-0 Branscombe over Fort Morgan. Free throw number 2 upcoming. She spins, she bends, she shoots and connects. Again, averaging over 17 points a game is Branscombe. Mustangs working the ball nicely, but then Bella Phillips could not control it on a perfect pass, intercepted by Madison Kyle. Kyle at the top, swings it left side. Now in the corner to Megan Kyle. 3 is up and off the front of the rim. Shea Ramirez Osborne has the rebound for Fort Morgan. Now they got to make sure they control the basketball. Here's Ordaz into the front court. Got to watch out from behind. Ordaz maintains the dribble. Towards the top against Alex Ellis, dribbling in between two, then had the ball stripped from behind out of bounds. It stays with Fort Morgan. So we're 2.5 minutes into the game. It's Mountain View 5, Fort Morgan nothing. Just a score in the first quarter would be big for the Mustangs. Ordaz to trigger it in. Bounce pass to Phillips. It's off her foot, and it's out of bounds. It was deflected by a Mountain View player. Timeout, 30-second timeout called by Brett Anderson, the head coach of the Mustangs. Timeout brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow locally from people you know. Equitable has been providing personal bankers to help you through all the steps. Stop by one of 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. Neither team scored in nearly the first 2 minutes. But eventually, when you commit as many turnovers as the Mustangs do, it's going to come home to roost. And this Mountain View team more than likely will get to a running clock by the fourth quarter, but Fort Morgan wants to be as representative as possible. Ramirez Osborne to trigger them. Bounce pass in the right corner. Ordaz wide open, but throws up an air ball, and it's out of bounds off Phillips. Missed it by about a foot. And the Mountain Lions come the other way. Here is Branscombe on the outside right to Ellis. Behind the three-point line to Branscombe. Swings it left side to Matchett. Left baseline to Kyle. Inside to Branscombe. Dribbles. Puts it up right baseline. Air ball. And a foul from behind. That's Madison Kyle over the back of Bella Phillips. Kyle with her first. But again, can Fort Morgan work out of this light press? Ramirez Osborne, bounce pass to Ordaz. One dribble and a pass tipped away by Branscombe. Puts it up and she's fouled. And Fort Morgan now is committing more fouls than they did yesterday. That might have been Ordaz again. Branscombe's already taken 3 free throws. Instead, they're going to say Longoria Vegas, 3 players for the Mustangs with a foul apiece. And Branscombe is 3 out of 3 from the line, make it 4 out of 4. She's got a pretty stroke. 6-0 Mountain View. Into the game is Caroline Solis. Solis in there for Mountain View. Bending, shooting, and in and out for Branscombe. Bella Phillips with a rebound. Rips it away from the defender. Phillips already with 3 boards. Here's the pass into the front court to Del Campo. Dribbling left baseline, puts it up, nearly made it, left it a little bit short. Rebound is controlled by Ellis. Here's a 2-on-2. Branscombe, middle of the lane, had the ball poked out of bounds by Longoria Vegas. Mountain View with possession of the basketball. Branscombe comes up a little bit limp. Alistair triggered in. On the outside left, Branscombe takes the 3, and that's good. On the left wing by Addison Branscombe. She has all the points in the game. It's 9-0 Mountain View. 4.5 to go in the opening quarter. Ramirez Osborne. Jump pass is intercepted in the backcourt by Matchett. Here's Solis on the left wing to match it. Swings it out to Ellis. Back on the outside left, Branscombe 3, and she did it again. It rattled home. Timeout, Fort Morgan. 4:19 to go in the first, full timeout. Just to give you an idea, Branscombe, as I mentioned, averaging 17 points a game. Second leading scorer is Bree Matchett at 6 points. So they're going to rely on Branscombe to score the ball, which he has so far. 2 threes, 4 out of 5 from the line, and a 2-point field goal to begin the game. And that's the type of game it's going to be for Addison Branscombe of Mountain View, a junior, with a nice-looking smooth stroke. Best player on that team for sure. First impressions are important. Buildings by Design will make your vision a reality. Visit buildingsbydesign.com. I'll be back with you a week from tomorrow. Brian Nickel will be with you next week. On Tuesday at home against Riverdale Ridge, 5:30 and 7. On Thursday, on the road against Niwot, 5:30 and 7. Mustangs not making a substitution as of yet. The 5 starters remain on the floor. Ramirez Osborne to throw it in. The Mustangs unofficially have committed 6 turnovers already. Last night they had 41, but they got better throughout the game in terms of committing fewer turnovers. In the backcourt, Ordaz to Ramirez Osborne. They spread it out. Now she's double-teamed. Baseball pass is intercepted by Madison Kyle in the front court. Here's Solis. Now to Branscombe. Cross-court pass tipped away, but it's taken by Matchett left of the lane. Now the left wing 3 by Ellis is perfect. Alex Ellis was wide open and scored. It's 15-0. Mountain View, 3:51 to go. And then the ball is lost out of bounds next to the Mustang bench in the backcourt. 8 turnovers, and Mountain View to throw it in with Caroline Solis. And out is Madison Kyle. Into the game is Reese Borchert. Here's Branscombe. On the outside left of Solis, penetrates and puts it up and off the side of the backboard on that little runner. The rebound to Ramirez Osborne, but then that pass is intercepted. The other way, Solis lays it up, and she's fouled as she missed. And the foul committed by Longoria Vegas. That'll be her second. And Caroline Solis to the stripe. Have a substitution. Kiera Alaman and Abby Arroyo about to check in. The free throw is an air ball. And also into the game, Yelena Ramirez. Second free throw for Caroline Solis. It's 15-0 in favor of Mountain View, and that's in the air, and that one barely got to the rim, but she's got the rebound, goes back up and scores off the glass to the left of the basket. Mustangs did not block her out. 17-0. Bounce pass to Aleman. Aleman nearly stripped, has it right back to Ramirez Osborne. Chest pass, front court to Ordaz. Ordaz dribbling by a defender right of the lane towards the right corner. Addison Branscombe right there. Bounce pass inside and a foul as Ramirez Osborne goes to the floor. And it looked like Reese Borchert bodied her up. So it is a foul with 3:16 to go in the opening quarter. Ramirez Osborne, bounce pass in the right corner for Ordaz. Dribbling right baseline all the way. Had the shot blocked, but then she tips it back out to Ramirez Osborne. So they'll reset the offense. Nice job by Ivana. On the outside right, the pass intended for Arroyo is thrown into the seats. 10 turnovers for the Mustangs. And with under 3 minutes to go in the first, here is Caroline Solis on the high left who match it. Baseball pass, Solis, and she traveled. Second turnover for Mountain View. Megan Kyle back into the game along with Georgia Pennington for the first time. Quarter along the side in front of the Mustang bench. Arroyo to throw it in. Still looking, has to get rid of it. Overhead pass is tipped away in the backcourt, but it's flagged down by Ivana Ordaz along the baseline. Picks up the dribble. Jump pass is going to be intercepted by Borchert. Here's Solis down low for Kyle. Looked like she traveled, puts it up and in, no whistle. Little 5-footer on the left side for Megan Kyle. And it's now 19-0 Mountain View. Steal in the backcourt by Borchert. Then the ball is loose in the corner and trying to chase it down out of bounds as Mountain View commits the turnover was Nicole Olson, their third turnover. Arroyo to throw it in. Boy, she's got a teammate wide open. There's Ramirez Osborne. Along the side, crossing the timeline, guarded by Borchard. Left-handed dribble, nearly tied up. Bounce pass back out to Arroyo. Arroyo dribbles on the high right, bounces it to Aleman. Aleman with 2:18 to go. Free throw line for Ramirez with her body and her back to the basket, and then she traveled. 12 turnovers, and Solis to throw it in, looking for a teammate. It'll be Nicole Olson that will help her out. Is this going to be another first quarter? The Mustangs get shut out. Here's Solis at the top, dribbling left of the lane, back out to Borchard. Three in the air, yes. Got nothing but net. Reese Borchard scores. And that's the fourth three-pointer in the opening quarter for Mountain View. It's 22-0. Ramirez Osborne at the top. Bounce pass on the outside right to Aleman. Dribbles against Borchard, bodied up by Orchard. Kicks it back out to Ramirez Osborne in the corner against Olson. There was contact, no whistle. Throws up a runner. It's an air ball. Georgia Pennington has the basketball for Mountain View. Solis crossover dribble. It's a 5-on-4, middle of the lane. Puts up a runner. Short rebound. Putback is up and in by Megan Kyle. Timeout, Fort Morgan. Mustangs are out rebounding Mountain View, but Mountain View has a 24-0 lead with 1:29 to go in the first quarter. That gives us time to tell you that Stubbs Gas and Oil, love that place. One-stop shopping. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. Stubbs Gas and Oil. First quarters have been a nightmare for the Mustangs. 30-0 in 3 of the last 4 games, and it's 24-0 now. Now, last night, they scored 8 points in the fourth quarter after being down 87-6, so they outscored Roosevelt, and I realized the game was already over, but you have to finish with some element of positivity, which they did last night in Johnstown. So here we go with a 24-0 Mountain View score. Mustang basketball, Ramirez Osborne, Del Campo, Arroyo, Ramirez, and Aleman for Fort Morgan in their road blacks. Solis, Borchert, Olson, Pennington, and Megan Kyle for Mountain View. Ramirez Osborne on the high right. Left-handed dribble at the free throw line. Bounce pass went behind Ramirez out of bounds into the Mountain View bench. Turnover number 13. Mustangs didn't score yesterday until they were down 45-0 midway through the second quarter versus Roosevelt. Outside left, Borchert swings it down low for Pennington. Straight away, Solis fakes the three and traveled. She's done it again. Does the same thing on 2 of her last 4 possessions. You got to put the ball on the floor before you start moving your feet. Well, this should not be 30-0 after this quarter, but it's going to be pretty close. Ramirez Osborne just beyond midcourt. Bounce pass on the outside right to Aleman. Left-handed dribble towards the top. Picks up the dribble. Swings it right side. Ramirez Osborne penetrates, and she's fouled on the floor. She banked it in, but no basket. Foul was on Pennington. Team's fourth. Her first. Ramirez Osborne, 53 seconds to go to Arroyo with a left-handed dribble. Arroyo into the paint. Back out to Del Campo. In the corner to Ramirez Osborne. Dribbles to her right. Down to 43 seconds remaining. Aleman against Solis, right of the lane. And then had the ball stripped from behind. It's loose and taken away by Pennington. Pennington now to Kyle. It's a 2-on-4. Kyle cross-court to Olson. Takes a wide-open three and drills it on the right wing. Nicole Olson has given Mountain View a 27-0 lead. Mustangs will back off on the pressure. 18 seconds to go. Can they score before the end of the quarter? Ramirez Osborne just beyond midcourt. On the outside right to Aleman, dribbling towards the head of the three-point circle. Ramirez Osborne's three is banked in. There you go. She banked it in. 2 seconds to go. Solis from half court. It's going to be short. And that's the end of the first quarter. How about that? Mustangs do get on the board. at the very end of the quarter. We'll head to the second quarter after this in Loveland. It's Mountain View 27, Fort Morgan 3 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. For the fourth time in 5 games, 30 points have been scored in the opening quarter, but this time it was not 30-0. 27-3 Mountain View lead. Shea Ramirez-Osborne nailed a 3 in the waning seconds of that first quarter. I'm John Beltran, back from Mountain View High School in Loveland. It is Bella Phillips on the floor, along with Kiera Aleman, Shea Ramirez-Osborne, Marely Del Campo, and Abby Arroyo. Addison Branscombe back into the game. Alex Ellis, Bree Matchett, Megan Kyle, Madison Kyle. Jump pass to Ramirez-Osborne on the outside right. In the corner, 3 is up, and that's going to be short by Aleman. Rebound pulled down by Addison Branscombe, her first. She'll take it into the front court. Branscombe fakes in the right corner to Ellis, dribbles to her left. Now to Branscombe. Cross-court pass to Matchett. Fakes the 3, dribbles. Now to Kyle, down low for Branscombe, swings it back out to Ellis. Cross-court pass to Madison Kyle. Left corner 3 is going to be very short, missed by Matchett, and the rebound to Aleman of Fort Morgan. And then the ball is knocked out of bounds at midcourt. Mustangs retain possession. Here is Ramirez-Osborne for Fort Morgan. They've broken 20 points once this season. That's another goal. Dribbles by defender. Del Campo 3 is off the back of the rim. And the ball is rebounded by Megan Kyle. Kyle with a strong rebound. She's a tall player along with Branscombe, who's got the basketball right now. Fakes and then she traveled. She took that hop step and commits Mountain View's 5th turnover. The Mustangs had 14 in the opening quarter. Arroyo is out and Longoria Vegas is back into the game. And the bounce pass into Ivana Ordaz. Both teams with 4 fouls in this first half. Ordaz, chest pass left side to Del Campo, dribbles left baseline, and then her pass is knocked out of bounds by Madison Kyle. And Mountain View, with a 27-3 lead, stays on defense. There is Longoria Vegas to throw it in. Check it. It'll be Ordaz instead. Longoria Vegas getting open in the left corner. And she's cut off by Bree Matchett, and then she double dribbled. Yep. Turnover number 15. She dribbled, stopped, and dribbled again. And I think she got confused. Jump pass in the backcourt. That's Madison Kyle to Branscombe. Branscombe's got a 2-on-3 working in the right corner. Backs up, won't take that 3. Kicks it back out straight away to Ellis. Now to Megan Kyle. Penetrates, pulls up, and is fouled as she misses to the left of the basket. Megan Kyle scored 4 points in the opening quarter. The Fort Morgan foul on Aleman. Free throw is up, and that is in and out. Free throw number 2 upcoming. Mountain View attempted 7 free throws in the first. That one is off to the right. Ball is chased down, though, by Branscombe in the corner. The lob to Madison Kyle puts up a floater. It's around and no good, and the ball is loose. It's taken by Branscombe again. She resets in the right corner. Madison Kyle penetrates right baseline. All the way, bodies up, and she misses, but she's fouled. Way too much contact there. There were 2 Mustangs, and it looked like Marely Del Campo got her with a body. Kind of hooked her a bit. 2 more free throws here for a Mountain View player. That time it's Madison Kyle. She makes the first, her first point of the game. 28-3 in favor of Mountain View. Second free throw is right there. No pressure being applied in the backcourt. Here's Ordaz over to Longoria Vegas. Longoria Vegas just across midcourt, double team. Bounce pass is going to be intercepted by Ellis. Ellis all the way, lays it up too strong. Rebound, Branscombe goes up, and that one is missed. And then the ball is rebounded by Longoria Vegas. Nice defense by the Mustangs. Here's Ordaz, left corner for Del Campo. Dribbles to her right, into the paint. Straight away to Ordaz, left-handed dribble. She's into the paint. Now to Del Campo, fakes the 3 on the left baseline. Swings it cross-court to Phillips, puts it up, and a foul as she missed. Megan Kyle got her across the wrist, her second foul. And Bella Phillips to shoot 2. Well, this quarter is not too bad so far for the Mustangs. Only outscored 2-0 in the first 2+ minutes. And Bella Phillips is a good free throw shooter. as she misses the first, but that was in and out. Good looking free throw. Just didn't have enough mustard there. Out of the game is Ordaz, or nope, that's Aleman instead. Ramirez Osborne is back in. Second free throw for Bella Phillips is in the air, and that one is off to the left. And the rebound to Megan Kyle, her third. On the outlet, here's Branscombe. Branscombe had a huge first quarter with 12 points. Straight away to Megan Kyle. Against Longoria Vegas, free throw line, Branscombe back out to Ellis. She won't take the three. Now she'll take the three, and she'll miss it. In and out. Bella Phillips wrestles away the rebound. Bella Phillips looking for the outlet. She's already grabbed 4 boards and finds Longoria Vegas. Setting up the play in the front court is Ramirez Osborne. Picks up the dribble. That's danger zone. Bounce pass towards Phillips in a high right. Then she double dribbled. 16 turnovers for the Mustangs. 5:17 to go second quarter. Mountain View 29. Fort Morgan 3. There's the lob in the backcourt to Branscombe. Met by Phillips at midcourt, but you want to back off a little bit because Branscombe can do everything. Chest pass in a high left to Matchett. Cross court to Madison Kyle, well behind the three-point line. Kyle with a right-handed dribble towards the top. Now to Branscombe, right at the free throw line. 15-footer off the back of the rim. And Ramirez Osborne grabs her 4th rebound, but her jump pass is tipped away, and it's intercepted by Matchett. Matchett a 2-on-2, all the way, puts it up and misses, but a foul. Del Campo got her from behind. That's her second. And here is Bree Matchett, second leading scorer on this team, but she has not scored yet. Matchett, a junior. A lot of free throws taken by Mountain View so far, and that one is good. Mountain View from the line is 7 of, check that, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have taken 12 free throws, and they're 7 of 12, and that one is in and out. Rebound to Phillips. That's her 5th rebound. 30-3, Mountain View, 4:39 to go before the break. Ordaz with a left-handed dribble. Man, she carried that one big time. She carried that one big time. It was twirling on her finger, and she was still going. And if you don't dribble, that's going to be a palming or carrying violation. Just across midcourt is Matchett. Gets a pick all the way, puts it up, and she missed the layup. And Madison Kyle with a rebound. Back out to Ellis. The three's an air ball. And the ball's pulled down and put up and in by Matchett. Matchett scores for the first time. And the lead is 32-3. 4:08 remaining second quarter. Ordaz cross-court pass is tipped away, chased down by Del Campo. Into the front court, Del Campo bounce pass down low, too low, and it went out of bounds, intended for Phillips. 19 turnovers for the Mustangs. Ramirez is in for Phillips, who's played very well. And to trigger it in is Reese Borchard back in to Branscombe. Branscombe met by Ramirez. Jump pass and a high right to Matchett. Matchett working off a screen from Madison Kyle. Lob to Kyle, but it's too strong, out of bounds. Would have been a nice pick and roll. But that pass was way too high. Ivana Ordaz for Fort Morgan against Ellis. Hands it off to Ramirez. Takes a little 14-footer air ball. The ball's out of bounds. Basketball goes over to Mountain View just past the top of the hour. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran, live in Loveland. Three-pointer match at left corner, no. Rebound to Ivana Ordaz, and Ordaz dribbled the ball off her leg out of bounds. Another Mustang turnover despite the rebound. Matchett in the corner to throw it in. Lobs it to Madison Kyle. On the high right to Borchard. Inside pass to Branscombe. Right corner three. Ellis is no good. Ball is tipped around, and that's a nice rebound there by Ordaz again. And the outlet pass is going to be intercepted by Ellis. And we have a whistle. Did Del Campo commit her third foul? And I think she did. Yep. That'll be the bonus as well. Mustangs are doing one thing well. They're rebounding well. but that will be the 18th foul, and Ellis might have taken one of the chops by Del Campo, and that means Ashlyn Body checks into the game for the first time. 1-1 situation with 3:09 to go. Del Campo still in there despite the 3 fouls. And Marelli will check out in a second. Free throw is perfect. Number 2 is upcoming for Ashlyn Body. She replaced the injured player, which is why she's on the line. 33-3, Mountain View with 3:09 to go before the break. Second free throw, yes. Abby Arroyo checked in for Del Campo. And here's Ordaz. Tried to pass it to Ramirez, but the ball is loose, and it's picked up by Body. Body with a 2-on-2. Body with a basketball right corner for Branscombe. Near the top to match it. Now in the left corner, Body triple is up. That's an air ball put up and in by Madison Kyle. She was just waiting there. Had great possession. And with that position, she scored. It's 36-3. 2.5 to go before the break. Ordaz bounce pass between the legs of Osborne out of bounds. Turnover, number 23 for the Mustangs. Here's Caroline Solis. Fort Morgan has not scored in this quarter. They got a 3-pointer late in the first, in the waning seconds, from Shea Ramirez Osborne. Here is Solis for Mountain View. Chest pass in the lane to Branscombe. Turns, hooks, misses. Ordaz has another rebound. That's her 4th. And then the ball's poked out of bounds by Branscombe. Mustang basketball. Madison Kyle is out. Marlene Carrillo is in. Mountain View will clear the bench for sure. Here's Ordaz. Ordaz at the head of the three-point circle, backing off the defender. Had the ball stripped, got it back, then her bounce pass went out of bounds. Intended for Longoria Vegas. Well, Coach Anderson hasn't had to utilize as many timeouts because Mustangs are holding their own in this quarter, that's for sure. Solis with the left-handed dribble into the lane, puts up a runner and misses, and the ball is tied up between Ordaz and Borchert. Possession arrow Mountain View. 2 substitutions for Mountain View. They'll have the ball with an even 2 minutes to go. Match it to throw it in. There's the lob near the top to Megan Kyle. Right side to Body. Baseball pass is intercepted by Ordaz. Nice play by Ivana Ordaz. It's a 3-on-3. Bounce pass down low. Knocked out of bounds by Solis, intended for Longoria Vegas. Mustangs to throw it in. 1:50 to go, second quarter. Down 36-3. There's the pass in the left corner to Arroyo, dribbling to her right. Baseball pass to Ordaz at the top, right of the paint, all the way, turns, kicks it back out. Ramirez Osborne 3 is good. Shea Ramirez Osborne hits her second triple. Mountain View 36, Fort Morgan 6. Match it is foul. That's not a good foul by Ramirez at midcourt. Did not move her feet whatsoever. Should be the double bonus. And Ramirez with her first. Well, maybe it's just a 19th foul. But yeah, you got to move your feet. You don't want to be that lackadaisical. Free throw by Matchett is a line drive off the back of the rim. Ball is tipped to Megan Kyle. She goes back up. Boy, it looked like she was fouled. No whistle. And the ball is taken away by Longoria Vegas. And then we have a foul, 16 foul. That's going to be on Body in the front court. Three-quarters court, Ramirez Osborne to throw it in. Mackenzie Schrum and Bella Phillips into the game. With 1:22 to go in the second, Ramirez Osborne bounce pass in the right corner and right off the hands of Schrum out of bounds. That was a perfect pass. Mountain View the other way. Solis, chest pass, right side to Body, down low. Solis through her hands, intercepted by Bella Phillips. Mountain View with 8 turnovers, 4 in each quarter. Yadira Longoria Vegas to Mackenzie. Check that too. Ramirez Osborne dribbles into the paint and then came down with the ball. That's a traveling violation as she jumped and never had the ball released from her hand. But we know that Shea now is a threat from three-point range, hitting 2 in this game. Still a 30-point lead for Mountain View. On the outside left, Megan Kyle triple is off the back of the rim. And it's saved in by Mountain View, but saved into Abby Arroyo. Arroyo's got to watch out from behind. Arroyo then lost control of the basketball. And it went out of bounds. Mountain View has it. Bree Matchett to throw it in. Lob to Solis. 39 seconds remaining. Left of the paint. Left corner. Wide open three. Carrillo is short, but she gets the rebound off the bounce. Here's a reset. And that shot is up and in. Inside the three-point line by Megan Kyle straight away. So able to convert was Mountain View. 38-6. 19 seconds to go. And that's a ridiculously bad foul by Solis. 40 feet away from the basket. Ramirez Osborne to the line for the 1-and-1. Now, why you guard somebody that tight, up by 32? So Shea will hopefully shoot 2 if she makes the first, but that one is way, way deep. Rebound to Carrillo. Carrillo for Mountain View. Is going to swing to Solis, down low for Branscombe. Left corner, Matchett, wide open 3. Yes. Bree Matchett has 6 all in the quarter. 3 seconds to go. Ramirez Osborne with 2. Puts it up from about 40, and it hits nothing but backboard. And that is the end of the opening half. From Mountain View High School in Loveland. Fort Morgan Mustangs certainly did play a better second quarter than they did in the first quarter. Their rebounding's been pretty good, but we'll run through the numbers, the first half numbers right after the break with the score in the first half of our doubleheader in this girls game from Loveland. It's Mountain View 41, Fort Morgan 6 on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs trail Mountain View 41-6 as we head to the third quarter. I don't think Coach Anderson will make any changes with the starting lineup. And I doubt that Mountain View will do any of that either. It'll be Addison Branscombe from Mountain View, Megan Kyle, Madison Kyle, Alex Ellis, and Bree Matchett. For the Mustangs, and I don't even know where they are. Where is Fort Morgan? They're coming out of the locker room now. Oh boy, it's not a good sign. You got to know how much time you have left. That is not a good sign. They better just get their 5 on the floor right now without going to the bench. They should have been out there 3 minutes ago. But now they are. Even Coach Anderson has yet to make an appearance to begin this third quarter. And Ordaz to throw it in. Bounce pass in the backcourt to Ramirez Osborne. I don't know if they have a clock in there, but it's a 10-minute half. It's customary. Ramirez Osborne then walked. Took several steps. And committing the turnover. We will have a running clock once we get. By the way, I neglected to mention the turnovers. 27 for Fort Morgan in the opening half, 8 for Mountain View. And Mountain View scores in a lane. I believe that was Branscombe. I had put my head down for a second. Now 43-6. Left of the lane, Osborne puts up a runner around and no good. Rebound to Branscombe. She grabs her 5th rebound. Long pass to Megan Kyle. Cross court to Ellis in the corner. Now to Branscombe. Back out to Madison Kyle. Right baseline to Branscombe. Down low for Ellis. Now to Branscombe. Fakes a 3. Straight away to Megan Kyle. Dribbles right of the lane. Jump pass inside. Branscombe banks and scores. She's done it again. She's got 16. 45-6 with 7:08 to go in the third. Ivana Ordaz for the Mustangs. Crossing midcourt with a left-handed dribble. Dribbling into the paint. Bounce pass inside intended for Phillips. It's intercepted, but then the Mustangs take it away and Phillips banks it in. Phillips banks it in off the miscue there by Mountain View. It's 45-8. Branscombe back out to Ellis. Left corner for Matchett. Lob down low. Branscombe's wide open. Where's the Mustang defense there? The Mustang defense has disappeared. She's got 3 easy buckets in the quarter, and then the ball's thrown out of bounds, and Fort Morgan's just getting lazy, and Brett Anderson knows that. He's making the substitutions right now. He's not going to put up with that. That's just not moving your feet or even playing defense. 47-8. 3/4 court. Mountain View to throw it in with Alex Ellis. At the top for Matchett, dribbling to her right. Feeds it back out to Ellis with a right-handed dribble. Head of the three-point circle, Madison Kyle. Down low for Branscombe. She banks and she misses. Had an easy one. The ball is loose. It's kicked out of bounds. It's off Fort Morgan. And Matchett to throw it in, but nobody's defending Branscombe for some reason. She's the best player. She gets the inbounds pass. Dribbles to her right. Cross-court pass to Megan Kyle. Her shot is in. Little 15-footer on the right wing for Megan Kyle. 49-8. And now the Mustangs applying pressure. Branscombe with a steal. Banks misses and a foul. I don't know why they're applying pressure. That doesn't make any sense. Schrum commits the foul off the turnover. Yeah, why are they pressuring now with a 41-point lead? I don't get that. And now they're going to bring in their other 5 because they can't handle that pressure. Free throw by Branscombe is in. Yeah, I'm not sure why all of a sudden Coach Patrick Huddleston has implemented a press. First free throw, as I mentioned, is in. Second free throw by Branscombe. That's up, and that's perfect. She's got 20 points unofficially. 51-8. This is absurd. Ordaz in the backcourt, the bounce pass. Now they back off. It's about time. Over to Ordaz, front court pass to Longoria Vegas with a left-handed dribble at the free throw line into the paint. Got to swing it back out. Bounces out to Ramirez Osborne. Dribbles. Lost control now to Ordaz, who gets it off the deflection. Bounce pass Longoria Vegas. Del Campo 3. It's nothing but glass. And Branscombe with her 6th rebound. Branscombe into the front court in the high right. In the right corner, Matchett. 3 is up and no good. Rebound is controlled over there by Matchett into the lane, and the putback is up, and that's missed by Madison Kyle. And Ordaz grabs another rebound for the Mustangs. On the high right, Ramirez Osborne. 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Mountain View 51, Fort Morgan 8. Nearly a travel by Longoria Vegas. Crossover dribble, watch out, bounces it to Ramirez Osborne. On the high left to Del Campo, penetrates, and then had the ball poked out of bounds by Branscombe. It will be Mustang basketball. And now a timeout called by Coach Anderson. Not sure if that clock moved. The last possession, it stuck at 6:04, but we'll see. It really doesn't matter at this point. With a 51-8 Mountain View lead. Outscored Fort Morgan 10-2 in the quarter after a 14-3 second quarter, and it was 27-3 after 1. Borrow locally from people you know. Equitable has been providing personal bankers to help you through all the steps. Stop by one of 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. And covering all electric work is Better Electric. From residential to commercial to agricultural, Better does matter. 970-521-1030. 3 in the air. Ramirez Osborne. Yes! Off the inbounds pass. Shea Ramirez Osborne now has 9 of the 11 points for Fort Morgan. 51-11. Into the paint is Branscombe at the free throw line. Now retreats against Bella Phillips. Right side, Madison Kyle. Inside to Megan. Perfect pass. And she throws it in off the glass. Nice job by Megan Kyle. 53-11. Ivana Ordaz back out to Del Campo. Right-handed dribble, right of the lane, lost control of the ball, or was she stripped? She was stripped. Out of bounds. It's Fort Morgan basketball. Morelli does have a lot of speed. Not much height, but she's got speed. She can dribble the ball pretty well. Ramirez Osborne, now she's being guarded closely and stripped over there, and the ball is picked up by Addison Branscombe. It's a 2-on-2. Branscombe swings it right side to match it. Dribbles right baseline. It's a hard foul by Del Campo. That'll be her fourth. And match it to throw it in. And checking in is Abby Arroyo. Arroyo to the left of the basket. Bounce pass inside. The shot is up and in. Off the bounce there by Madison Kyle. 55-11, 5:08 to go, third quarter. Ordaz for Fort Morgan on the left side to Ramirez Osborne. Guarded by Matchett. Left-handed dribble. Throws up a runner, got nothing but glass. The rebound to Megan Kyle. Mountain View with a 3-on-3. Bounce pass down low. And there's the shot up, and it's around and good. That's the feed from Branscombe over to Alex Ellis. 57-11. Mountain View. Longoria Vegas, left-handed dribble, looking, swings it back out to Ramirez Osborne. And then the bounce pass intended for Longoria Vegas is intercepted by Branscombe. 32 turnovers for the Mustangs, had 41 last night. Chest pass in the right corner, out of bounds, intended for Madison Kyle. Mountain View with their 9th miscue. Reese Borchert, Caroline Solis, along with Georgia Pennington and Nicole Olson check in. And here is Ivana Ordaz setting up the offense for the Mustangs. Swings it over to Ramirez Osborne. Got to do something there. There's the left-handed dribble, left to the lane, in the lane, bounce pass off the feet of Bella Phillips. The Ramirez Osborne picks it up and misses. Back out to Abby Arroyo, right of the lane, triple teamed, right corner Ordaz, and she double dribbled. So the double dribble is the 33rd turnover. And Mountain View comes the other way with Caroline Solis. Jump pass on the high right to Megan Kyle. With a left-handed dribble into the paint, throws up a runner. That's short, and a foul over the back. Nice rebound by Ramirez Osborne, and going way over the back was Reese Borchert. Second team foul. Ramirez Osborne has 9 points and 6 rebounds. Good night for her. And then Ordaz is stripped. Ball is in the backcourt. She'll pick it up. There's the left-handed dribble against Solis. Ramirez Osborne swings it cross-court to check that from Ordaz to Ramirez Osborne. Then she's stripped away by Kyle. Here is Solis. Chest pass down low for Olson. Defender in the air. Banks misses. Goes for the rebound. And Ordaz has it. And then had the ball stripped from her. Here's Solis. Now to Kyle. 3 is up. And that's off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by Olson. Here's Solis. 15-footer. That one is short. And Bella Phillips has the rebound for the Mustangs. 3 minutes to go. Third quarter. Mountain View 57, Fort Morgan 11. Ordaz with the left-handed dribble. Left to the lane. Straight away to Longoria Vegas. Longoria Vegas looking, still looking. Picks up the dribble. Bounce pass down low for Phillips. Phillips with a dribble. Puts up a shot, and that's an air ball. And Borchert pulls it away and is fouled in the backcourt by Abby Arroyo. Her first. Looks like with a time of 6:31 and a running clock in the fourth quarter and 2:39 to go here in the third, that we'll get the boys game started exactly at 7. There's the lob inside. Layup is up and missed by Solis, and the ball is out of bounds. It's off Mountain View. Fort Morgan basketball. Good defense by the Mustangs. They've allowed 16 points in this quarter and have scored 5. Buckets by Ramirez Osborne and Phillips. Ramirez Osborne looking, still looking. Bounce pass on the outside right. It's taken in front of the Mustang bench by Longoria Vegas. Nice left-handed dribble. Back to the basket. Leans. Bounce pass in the left corner to Ordaz with a right-handed dribble. Nearly stripped. Gets it back. Here's Arroyo. Right baseline. Arroyo lost it. Got it back. Bounce pass in the corner. Longoria Vegas starts a drive. Cut off by Olson. Now bounces it, and it's intercepted by Ashlyn Body. Left to the lane. Back out to Solis. Lost control. Got it right back. Solis cross-court pass to Body. Down low and a foul. That's 3-second violation on Solis. And here is Kiera Aleman. Aleman to throw it in. Aleman met at midcourt by Solis. With a right-handed dribble, Solis is awfully close to her. No foul. At the top for Arroyo. Into the paint. Left corner, Aleman. Three in the air is short. Rebound, Nicole Olson of Mountain View. On the outlet to Solis. A minute 28 to go. Long pass to Borchert. Turns, banks, and scores. Borchert now with 5 in the game. 59-11. With 75 seconds remaining in the third. Ordaz, bounce pass cross court taken by Ramirez Osborne against Ashland Body on the right baseline. Back out on the bounce, Arroyo, wide open three. Yes! Abby Arroyo drills the triple. The Mustangs have hit 4 trifectas in a game. That's the first by a player other than Ramirez Osborne. 53 seconds to go. Right wing to Olson with a right-handed dribble at the top. The three is up and good. Perfect three by Ashland Body. 62-14 in favor of Mountain View. 39 seconds remaining. Ordaz bounce pass front court to Ramirez Osborne. Middle of the lane, puts up a runner and a double dribble instead. She made the shot but called for the violation. 36 turnovers by the Mustangs. Yelena Ramirez and Melina Richards are into the game. Backcourt pressure being applied by Ramirez. Here's Solis with a left-handed dribble. Solis at the free throw line. Back out to Pennington into the game. Pennington all the way is fouled, and Del Campos fouled out. I think Marelli didn't want to play this entire game because she committed 2 or 3 fouls that really were not fouls where she was moving her feet. She was just hacking, and she has been disqualified from the game with 5 fouls. And here is Pennington. Her free throw is up and off the back of the rim. Marelli plays hard, but again, there were, I think she would admit, some fouls there that didn't need to be committed. Second free throw is up and good by Pennington. 63-14. Longoria Vegas with 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter. With a left-handed dribble, then dribble the ball off her foot. It's loose, and it's picked up by Pennington, but she traveled. Mustangs still have possession. 11.6 seconds to go, third quarter. Melina Richards right at the basket on the offensive end. Bounce pass in the corner to Longoria Vegas. Maintains the dribble, crossover dribble, cut off, and the ball is taken away by Solis. 3 seconds to go with 2. Long pass inside to Borchert. Banks misses, and that's the end of the third. It is Mountain View 63, Fort Morgan 14 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Mountain View basketball to begin the fourth quarter. Alex Ellis against Melina Richards. Hands it off to match it straight away to Branscombe on the left baseline. Pass to Megan Kyle. Floats it up and left it short. Goes back up and scores. Megan Kyle along the left baseline. She's got 12. And the lead is 65-14. Running clock here for Mountain View. I'm John Beltran. And then the pass from Aleman goes behind Richards out of bounds. That is turnover number 38 unofficially for the Mustangs. It's Ramirez, Schrum, Richards, Aleman, and Longoria Vegas. 5 starters out there for Mountain View, but they haven't played a lot tonight. Ellis is going to hand it off to Bree Matchett. Matchett left of the free throw line, left corner. Kyle takes the 3, and that's no good. Rebound to Branscombe. Dribbles, turns, kicks it back out to Ellis. Now on the left wing, Matchett down low for Kyle. Dribbles, and she's fouled. Oh, they're going to call offensive foul. Offensive foul on Megan Kyle through that elbow. Mustang basketball, running clock with 6:46 to go in the game. Down by 51, 65-14. Aleman, jump pass, cross court to Schrum. Schrum bounce pass right corner. Longoria Vegas' 3 does not get to the rim. Alex Ellis has the basketball. Long pass to Branscombe. It's a 2-on-1. Swings it down low for Kyle, and she puts it in off the glass. Megan Kyle scores. 14 in the game unofficially. 67-14 with 6:22 remaining. Longoria Vegas at the top. Back on the high right to Schrum in the corner to Longoria Vegas, guarded by Kyle. Turning, looking, and we have a foul. It would only be the third team foul, so the clock continues to run, no free throws. And Megan Kyle commits her fourth. Longoria Vegas lobs it into Ramirez, right of the lane, all the way. Jump pass to Richards, left baseline shot, air ball. Megan Kyle, 7th rebound. Here is Branscombe. Branscombe, chest pass right side to Ellis, to her left. Floats it down low for Madison Kyle. Here's Matchett, left baseline shot, back rimmed it, and then she fouled. Matchett did commit the foul, pushing off a Mustang. Both teams with 4 fouls, with under 5.5 to go, and it's a 53-point game. And here is Longoria Vegas on the high left to Alamon, left corner for Richards. Dribbles to her right, left of the free throw line. Ramirez, 14-footer, missed it. Got glass, and it got rim. Addison Branscombe with her 7th rebound. Branscombe on the high right, right of the lane, all the way, bodied up, and a foul as she missed. Clock will stop momentarily while she shoots 2 free throws. And the foul was on Kiera Alamon. Clock now stops with 4:56 to go in the game. Couple of substitutions. Oh, they're not going to, wow. Looked like she was going up. That was clearly a shooting foul. Pass inside, Branscombe banks and scores off the feet from Matchett. Well, she gets a basket anyway. I can't believe that was not a shooting foul. Mustangs with 5 team fouls and Mountain View with 4. We've got 4:28 to go. Cross-court pass to Alamon, takes a dribble, left corner for Richards. Now to Ramirez, left of the lane, double team. Back out of the bounce to Alamon, had the ball stripped from behind, and then it's off Alamon. Oh, they're going to say it's off Mountain View out of bounds, and the Mustangs get a break and still have the basketball. And Solis and Borchert are back in for Branscombe and Ellis, who are done for the night. The ball will be inbounded with 4 minutes to go in the game. Bounce pass to the outside left to Schrum, stripped, but she got it right back. Here's Longoria Vegas at the free throw line. Bounce pass to Richards on the high right. In the right corner to Schrum. Schrum looking down low with a right-handed dribble. Then the ball got stripped out of bounds in the back court. Yeah, Schrum apparently can only dribble with the right hand, and that's always danger zone. And now Longoria Vegas is out. Abby Arroyo is in. Bree Matchett is out of the game as Mountain View makes a substitution with 3.5 to go. 69-14. Left side is Schrum. Dribbles to her right. Schrum picks up the dribble. Still looking. Bounce pass to Ramirez. 15-footer. Hits nothing but window. The ball is loose. There'll be a tie-up. By the time they get this one inbounded, because it stays with Fort Morgan, they'll be under 3 minutes to go. Pennington is in for Madison Kyle. Well, there won't be because the timeout's being called by Coach Anderson. 3:02 to go. They'll call the timeout. But again, we will start on time for the boys' game, not 10 minutes tardy like we had last night. Only because of the speed of this game. 69-14 Mountain View with just over 3 minutes to go in the game on a Friday night. I'm sure the Mustang teams, boys and girls, will be happy to get some rest after tonight. And you've traveled quite a bit this week. It's the busiest week of the season for these teams on the road. Greeley, Johnstown, and Loveland. It'll be Mustang basketball. Next games will be on Tuesday night in Fort Morgan at Stan Lampe Gymnasium against Riverdale Ridge. Arroyo, Ramirez, Schrum, Richards, and Alamon for the Mustangs. Solis, Pennington, Borchert, Body, and Carrillo for Mountain View. Looking for the lob, got to get rid of it, and she throws it off the foot. And the clock should still run there. Yeah, the clock's still going to run because the ball got in bounds. One out of bounds. Mustangs retain possession. Threw it off the foot of Borchert. Still looking. Bounce pass inside to Alamon, but she dribbles now towards the right baseline. And then the ball is loose. Might be another tie up there. No, she gets it over to Ramirez. Lost the ball, but Aleman retrieves it. Then the ball is poked out of bounds, and it's off Mountain View. Good defense by Carrillo. Nicole Olson back into the game for Solis. So Solis's night is done with under 2.5 to go. Arroyo lobs it near the top to Richards behind the three-point line. Richards with a right-handed dribble to Ramirez. Ramirez right of the lane, bodied up by Pennington. Fades, shoots, and misses. Threw up an air ball, but Schrum tries to save it, cannot. Marlene Carrillo comes away with a basketball. Carrillo crossing midcourt. Carrillo left of the paint. Left corner wide open, body three is an air ball, and the ball is kicked around. It's taken by Nicole Olson, and the ball is still loose. Three-quarters court, picked up by Borchert. Now here is Pennington, right baseline. Lobs it inside for Borchert. Swings it to Olson as the shot blocked, and the ball is loose. It's picked up now by Carrillo. What a mess down low. Resetting as Mountain View. In the left corner is Reese Borchert. Jump pass to Carrillo, back out to Body. And then is that going to be a foul? It's a foul on Schrum. 16 foul. Bella Phillips will check in. With 1 minute and 23 seconds to go in the game and a running clock, three-quarters court. Well, at least this team will go nowhere near 90. Left baseline, Pennington. Inside to Body, banks it in. Beautiful pass from Pennington. Ashland Body now with 7, but they will eclipse 70, 71-14 with 1:03 to go. On the high left, Arroyo behind the three-point line, guarded by Borchert, dribbles to her right. Back to the top now is Abby Arroyo, swings it right side to Richards. Richards all the way, lays it up and blocked from behind. Nice defensive play. It was blocked by Borchert. Nicole Olson comes out of the pack. 45 seconds remaining. Carrillo. Here is Ashland Body, drives, banks, and scores with a left hand. Ashland Body along the left baseline, didn't have much of an angle, but she banked it in. The lead is 59, 73-14 over and back. Aleman threw it to Richards, but she hadn't crossed midcourt. Mustangs will finish with 39 turnovers in the game, unless they commit another one, but we'll see if Mountain View even shoots. Here is Pennington. We've got 13 seconds to go. Back out to Olson. Now to Pennington. In the corner for Borchert. Down low for Pennington. Swings it cross court. And now the three by Body is good. Ashland Body did take an unnecessary shot. I'm not sure you want to do that. But then again, I guess you're just playing basketball. And Mountain View holds Fort Morgan scoreless in the fourth quarter, and they win the game 76-14 as the Mustangs drop to 0-10 on the season. Let's see how much time they put on the clock between games before we take a break here from Mountain View High School in Loveland. Be about a 13-minute break. 13-minute break in between both games. So we will go ahead and take a timeout. We'll have a recap of tonight's girls game right after this. Mountain View 76, Fort Morgan 14 on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustang Post-Game Show is brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Make sure the nutrients you've purchased for your field are getting to your crops. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water. Advanced Agri Solutions. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. Again, a big first quarter doomed the Lady Mustangs tonight. It was 27-0 until Shea Ramirez Osborne nailed a three-pointer with a couple of seconds to go in the first quarter. 27-3 was the score at that point. It was 41-6 at the break. Mountain View outscored Fort Morgan 22-8 in the third as the Mustangs got a couple of threes there from Arroyo and Ramirez Osborne. And then 13-0 in the fourth. Mountain View wins 76-74. to 14 as they had 10 players in the scoring column. The Mustangs had 9 points from Ramirez Osborne, who also had 6 rebounds. 3 points in the game from Abby Arroyo, and Bella Phillips with 2. For Mountain View, Addison Branscombe with 22, 5 more than her average this season. Megan Kyle with 14 points. Ashlyn Body scored 12. Next up in the scoring column, Bree Matchett and Madison Kyle with 6. Reese Borchert and Alex Ellis contributed 5 points apiece. Then you had 3 from Nicole Olson, Caroline Solis with a deuce, and Georgia Pennington with 1 free throw. 31 rebounds for Mountain View, 21 for Fort Morgan. Ramirez Osborne and Bella Phillips had 6 apiece for the Mustangs. And Addison Branscombe and Megan Kyle had 7 apiece for Mountain View. 39 turnovers for the Mustangs, 11 for Mountain View. Very similar to last night. Last night, Fort Morgan had 41 turnovers, and Roosevelt had 10. So nothing really changed as opposed to last night. The only thing is that the opponent didn't score as many points. Last night, Fort Morgan had 14 points. Tonight, they had 14. And they also had 14 on Tuesday night against Northridge. So that's the type of week it was offensively, but defensively not as bad because the Mustangs were a little bit tighter on defense. Mountain View not as talented with the offensive weapons that Northridge and Roosevelt has, but Fort Morgan still played a little bit better defense, especially on the perimeter, and didn't allow as many layups as they did last night to Roosevelt. So they hold this team to 76 points, and quite frankly was sitting at 71 until Body made a couple of shots very, very late in the game when Mountain View, quite frankly, did not even need to shoot or even score for that matter. So Mountain View, let's get the updated standings here. Get them to you in just a second. We know the Mustangs dropped to 0-6 in the Longs Peak and 0-10 overall. And as for Mountain View, they are 4-6 overall, 3-3 in league play after the 76-14 victory tonight in Loveland. Still a few minutes away from the boys' game, but we can tell you that for Mountain View, they're led by some seniors. Noah Phillips averaging 17.6 points a game, as well as Javi Carrillo at 10.3. Mountain View, again, 2-3 in league play, 4-5 overall. I don't think I actually mentioned that. I just talked about the girls. The Mustangs 0-5 in league play, 2-7 on the season, coming off a very disappointing last night, 53-51 in Johnstown to Roosevelt against a team that was 0-10. And Fort Morgan really never had the lead in that game. They were playing catch-up most of the game. They did tie it late on a Rodrigo Alvarez 3. But then with 30 seconds to go, Bowie Schmitz hit a jumper in the lane, and that was it. This Mountain View boys team had lost 3 straight, then won 3 straight, beating Berthoud 52-34, downing Northridge 64-46. That's a team that Fort Morgan lost to by 23 points earlier this week. And then defeating Roosevelt by 22. So they just defeated the 2 teams Fort Morgan lost to prior to tonight's game. And then a tough loss to Riverdale Ridge in Thornton in overtime last night for Mountain View, 69-61. We'll get to the starting lineups and the tip of tonight's game, the second half of the doubleheader. Mountain View girls beat Fort Morgan 76-14. The boys' game is coming up on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.